Welcome to Next to Madison, a podcast to help you live your best life.
Hey, it's Madison Malloy. Just wanted to remind you to make sure you grab a copy of my book, Time to Lighten the Fuck Up. It is a great, funny self-help book that is going to help you get out of your own way. I have already helped thousands and thousands of people, and they are on their way to living their dream life, and I want every listener to be able to live their dream life as well. So grab a copy of the book on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, or even the audiobook on Audible. Now back to the show.
Hey, welcome back to another fun episode of Next to Madison. I am your host, Madison Malloy, and I want to come back on here and follow up on last week's episode about resolutions and goals. I think it is so important. I've had some, done a lot of thinking over the weekend. New Year's was absolutely amazing. I'm excited for this new year. And as I started to really think more about resolutions and things of that sort, I realized really that we need to stop calling them resolutions. I think we really need to be calling them new lifestyle changes because when you change your lifestyle, you change your life, right? A resolution can be like a diet. Once you reach your goal, you stop doing it and you revert back to the old you. And we don't want to do that. We want to continuously grow and move forward. So if your goal is to lose 10 pounds in the new year, don't make that your resolution. Make that a lifestyle change because you want to be able to keep that off. If your goal is to, or resolution is to make more money, well, then we have to adjust how we think about money and the actions we are taking. There's so much things I've seen about dedication, your dedication to what you want to achieve, who you want to become. And every day, the decisions you make will reflect your results. So, decision and dedication are absolutely critical. And make sure that you're not doing things for outside validation. I was having a conversation with a client I was coaching, and they said, I want to go from this income level to this income level. And it was quite a big jump. And I said, when you reach that new income level, why do you want to have that new income? And he immediately started saying, oh, I want the cars, I want the girls, I want to show people I made it, blah, blah, blah. And I said to him, you need a better why. Unless your why is powerful and positive and something that's going to impact the world in a positive way, it's going to be hard to sustain that. And you're looking for outside validation. And as we constantly look for our validation outside ourselves, we find so many reasons to get distracted and to come off our path. The validation and our why needs to come from within. So if you're trying to make more money, that's amazing. You should. We all need to be happier, healthier, and wealthier, be abundant. But make sure your why is important. Why do you want more money? Well, I want more money so I can have a vacation home with a lot of rooms so I can invite my friends to come and create memories with me. Everybody's so busy in their lives and it's hard to get time off. If I could have a place where they would want to come, where they could see me create memories and have a vacation. Now, do you see how that why is so much more powerful than I want to show people I made it? Because no one really cares at the end of the day, you know? You may think that they do, but make sure that your why of anything you do, whether it's getting in shape, having more money, whatever it is, has a positive impact behind it. When you have a strong why and a positive impact, you're going to be able to make healthier decisions and choices and a more positive, abundant mindset to be able to attract those things into your life. I was somebody back in the day who looked for constant outside validation. That's the only place the validation was coming for me. I was miserable. I never felt like I was enough. My self esteem was so low. I was constantly living lack and scarcity. Never thought I was good enough. Thought I was going after opportunities, but I was thinking so small and so lack that I wasn't really taking the chances I needed and making the healthy decisions I needed for me. Once I stepped into really learning how to self validate and having a very positive, strong why behind everything I do, that life really became more open, more abundant, and just feels more peaceful. when I want to do things, I do it because I want to do it. And I know that it's coming from my heart and it's going to be a positive why. And therefore, I'm making healthier decisions to get there. Again, if you guys haven't picked up a copy of my book, please do. Time to Lighten the F Up. Um, it's one of those things, never judge a book by its cover. This is a prime example. This book, I love the title because it was a message to myself when I finally kind of learned to really lighten the F up, and a message to the world because I felt that we were all just very tight and wound up tight. If we just lightened up a little bit, made things less complicated, viewed this world as a fun place where we could kind of gamify our life and have fun with it and take chances. We're not here for that long in the grand scheme of things. On average, we have 75 Christmases, 75 Thanksgiving, summers, fall, if you get it. When you break it down like that, you realize how short things are. Don't wait until tomorrow to do something that you could do today. So, I'm going to read a little bit of my book about believing in yourself because I think in 2024, it is critical that if you don't believe in yourself, you need to start. I want this to be a complete wake up call because in my life, I had so many people that believed in me in the past, but I didn't believe in myself. It was when I started to believe in myself that I realized how much more I was capable of, and I was able to actually get the things done that I wanted to do. And there's so much more that is coming about, and I'm very excited for that. So, I'm going to read a little bit of this book. It's in chapter 6. Get a copy of this. Time to Lighten the F Up. Um, Share it with a friend. When you're done reading it, give it to a friend. I want these passed on. I want to help people uncomplicate their life and have a little bit of fun and humor in the journey. So yes, one of the things I talked about here was don't wait for them, validate yourself. Because we are so brainwashed by our upbringing and society to believe that validation needs to come from outside. We're trained to feel good about ourselves when we get compliments, trophies, awards, and accolades. Make your parents and teachers proud. Be a good team player. Do what it takes to make everyone like you. We're not often taught the importance of finding inner validation. And I see two layers to this. The first is more superficial, and it's something we shouldn't do to ourselves. We look for extra validation wherever we can get it. We ask things like, "Do I look nice?" when we know already that we look nice. We say, "Oh gosh, I look so fat. I look so old. I look so terrible." Waiting for our friend to say, "No, you look fantastic. I wish I looked as good as you." Because luckily, most people will lie to you. Not many assholes out there who will respond, "You're looking really old. I have a great Botox gal. Do you want her number?" The second, deeper level of validation that you can achieve is more about having faith in your abilities and your value as a magnificent human being. I'm amazing at what I do. I love it when I get to show the world the things I've done. I have something to offer. I am worthy of the things I want and the things I achieve. I am more than the sum of money and possessions. I am the creation of a divine and loving force. This is very important because you have to understand when you have that inner validation, your need for outer validation becomes less. Okay. And I know it's like when we put on our outfit, we want to ask people like, does it look good? Does it look okay? Sometimes we just need to know. We just need another opinion, and that's okay. But if you're seeking for an answer to help validate yourself, then it's coming from the wrong place. Um, so these were some other things I used to, and then in the book I talk about judging myself from my bank balance. But I don't want to read too much in the book. I want to talk about my experiences with validation and some other things that we can do. And validation really also comes down to building your confidence. When you believe in yourself, when you know how to create inner validation for yourself, you're going to have more confidence. And creating a new paradigm or a new confident or a new confident image, a better self image, whatever, it's like a muscle. If you went to the gym and you started working out, you're not going to see results right away. But as you keep doing it and you keep doing it, it starts to work. It's the same thing with your mind, with your confidence, with your belief systems. You really have to constantly work and train that muscle and kind of reprogram that subconscious mind. There's absolutely no reason you guys should not be believing in yourself. You are a unique, special gifted human being. There is nobody else like you on this planet. And I always say that should be enough to create all the confidence in the world. We need to stop comparing ourselves to others because people have different problems, different issues, walk in different shoes. You don't know what they're dealing with. So it's important to um, be kind, but you've got to love yourself. When we don't love ourselves, it becomes impossible to love other people. And inner validation, self validation is so, so key. Um, Happiness comes from within, it doesn't come from the outside. When we validate ourselves, we're saying it's okay to be happy. I am good enough. I am capable of this. These are things that will kind of help you get there. And another thing I've done with like my clients that I coach, when you're visualizing, if it's something that you're trying to create more confidence, to have more inner validation, so you're not always looking for external sources for happiness or to say you look good and validate your decisions or what you are, then you're just going to feel better. So when you're going to bed at night, it's really important to just visualize what it would feel like to truly, truly love yourself, to be whole, to be full, to not be bothered by outside factors. We cannot control what happens outside of us. We cannot control other people, but we can control ourselves. And this comes down to something I've learned a lot too, which is being responsive and not reactive. When you learn to validate yourself and have more self confidence and belief in yourself, you're naturally going to be more responsive versus reactive. When you're reactive, we're in a defense mechanism versus responsive. We take time to think and we realize what should we should be taking on and what we should be letting go of. There's so many negative influences in our outside world. You've got the news, you've got people around you. You cannot control them, which is why it's so important to have that self belief and that validation in yourself so you're not negatively impacted by the world. We are in a crazy, crazy world. I have faith in people. I'm believing that people are um, waking up, that they're realizing that it starts with us to be kind. We are entering an election year. Election years are usually very heated. They're very complicated. Um, People think differently than you. They've got different belief systems, they've got different paradigms. A lot of people are looking for that outside validation. In an election year, especially 2024, I'm very excited for this year. I think it's going to be a magical year, but again, it's only going to be magical for you if you start changing your thoughts around it. It's all up to you. Yes, there's going to be crazy stuff. Election years are freaking nuts. Okay. There's going to be crazy stuff that comes out. I think the Epstein list is coming out. All this crazy stuff is going to happen, but you've got to make sure that your inner your inner being is strong with the confidence and the validation so you can be kinder, you can embrace different thoughts, you can be responsive versus reactive. Especially in this political heated environment, if somebody says something to you that offends you or they don't agree with you, you don't need to be reactive to that. Those people are allowed to feel differently, to vote differently, to think differently, as are you. So sometimes we just don't need to have conversations or prove ourselves. We're trying to make sure that we argue our point to get it across. We're looking for that validation that says, I'm right. When you really have that confidence and that inner validation, you're not going to look for that. You're going to say, I totally understand what you're saying. I may not fully agree with you, but I respect where you're coming from. And I'm really glad that we can have this open and honest conversation. That's going to get a lot more done than like, you're an idiot. I can't believe you're doing this. That is not what we need. We need more kindness and love in this world, especially with 2024 coming up. Let's just hope there's no viruses that come out again. Yes, but speaking of that, I want to encourage people to make sure that they're taking step towards their health. Health is wealth. It is one of the most important things you can do. Make sure you're one of my resolutions. I was kind of being bad about taking my vitamins every day. There were certain ones I took every day, but now I'm going to be better about water intake. Pardon me, vitamins. Being more careful about touching my eyes because that's really how you get sick through your eyes and your nose, and really making sure when I do feel low or I do feel a little insecure at times because we're going to because we are human beings. that I go back to that center and I realize that I'm a unique, amazing individual with a lot to offer and have that belief in myself so I can inspire more people to do the same. And I encourage you guys all to do the same as well. So, again, we can make 2024 the best year ever, but it all comes down to your daily habits and decisions, the dedication that you want to change, and really, really making sure that you're in an abundant mindset. Always know that anything is possible and wake up every day saying, this is going to be the best day. This is going to be the best week. This is going to be the best month. This is going to be the best year. And just keep doing that. And you will just start to see and watch miracles unfold in your life. And again, if you need a quick guide, grab a copy of my book, Time to Lighten the Fuck Up or F Up. And yeah, it's all in here. Leave a review. You guys don't forget to rate and review the podcast. We had to switch our RSS feed. So please make sure if you had subscribed to the old one, you subscribe to the new one. And we will be back more this month with amazing guests that are coming up. I just wanted to come on here and kind of drop some stuff as I've been coaching and helping a lot of people with their life, just some topics and thoughts that I've been thinking. I know on this podcast, I interview a lot of guests, so sometimes people don't really get to know kind of what's going on with me. So I'm going to be bringing in more kind of solo episodes based on some tools and tricks that have really changed my life and sharing more stories of the struggles I went through and kind of how I got through them so you guys can really kind of use this as a tool to inspire you and motivate you. I am so excited for this year. I'm excited for all of you, but just remember, our thoughts create our reality, and so does our language. So I want to encourage you from this moment forward to just start thinking more positively. And another trick you can use is get a rubber band, and every time you have a negative thought that's in lack or limitation, just snap that rubber band. And I like to snap it hard. So when you have the negative thoughts, you start associating pain. It's almost like touching a hot stove. You do it once, you don't do it again. And you'll start to really rewire that brain. Your thoughts and your language creates your life. So which life are you creating this year? Let's go make it our best year yet. And let's go get them. Happy New Year, and thanks again for listening to another episode of Next to Madison. We'll see you next week to find out who's next.
Hey, your host here, Madison Malloy. Please make sure to subscribe to the show on all podcast platforms, and please rate and review us on iTunes and Spotify. Also, if you have any questions or comments, you can email us at contact@nexttomadison.com. I thank you again for listening. Bye.